worth a social media graphic so that way you can post one social media graphic a day for the rest of the month or for a month. So let me show you how. Let's take a deep dive in how I do it and how I do it for myself and for my clients. So a couple different ways we can do this. I'm going to walk you through the ChatGPT way first, and I'm going to show you other alternatives in case you don't have ChatGPT. Now, if I go to ChatGPT, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen here. Oops, wrong button. Let me move you over here. There we go. Share screen. Okay, so entire screen window. Just do entire screen. There we go. Okay, you should be seeing ChatGPT right here. So there's two ways of doing it, especially through ChatGPT. One way I want you to do it is make sure you set up projects. Now, projects are, think of them as a folder that has information on something, and with that information, they're able to use that information to create whatever you wanted to create. So, like for myself, I have a project with my name on it. I have gave it all the information about myself, who I am, my company, my social media, email, website, target audience, everything I can as possible. So that way it knows me. And that way, when it creates something, it creates it based on me. So I really want you to go through and fill out the information to get yourself set up on projects. Now, here's a couple things you can ask. And let me make sure I copy that over here. Okay. So before you design anything, ChatGPT, if you don't have projects or as you're filling out and creating the project section, I want you to make sure you go in here and you add, make sure you answer these questions. Who is this post for? So that way the system understands who they're going to make this for. What problem does that solve? So that way you understand how are you helping the viewer, okay, who is watching or looking at the content, the person who's scrolling and stops at your content. What is this helping them with, what the graphic should say. Now, as we go through the system, I'll show you different ways so that way you don't have to be heavy on involvement in creating and adding information to the graphic. You can give it a general idea, a topic, maybe even a theme that you want. um, but if you are creating something specific, like if you want to create a graphic for an open house on a certain day in a certain address, then yes, obviously provide it that information. Otherwise, you'll see as we go along, it'll be easier for you to create graphics without having to provide it a lot of information. What visual concept should be used? Now, do you want more of a graphic with a lot of text? You want more of a graphic with more images, less text? What sort of concept do you want? A little minimalist? You want a little bit more information on there? So let's think about what is it that you want. Is there a specific caption that you want to use? Right, open house this Sunday, or um, like a financial advisor, file your taxes before this. Right? Is there a specific thing you want on there? Then tell the system what you want on there. What offer or CTA should be promoted? Do you have a specific call to action that you want to promote on there? Like, do you want to tell it, like I was talking about the open house on this day, or comment the word guide below to get my free guide? Okay. If you want some certain call to action, then put that call to action there in order to create that call to action on the actual graphic. Okay. So those are the things you should put on there and add on there. Now let's think about the different graphics. And let me copy this over. All right. Now, is this more of a problem solving graphic? A graphic that calls out a pain point, That calls out the audience. What emotional impact? Is this more like a tips framework, a checklist, a mistake, a how to graphic? What type of graphic is this? Is this more like a beliefs or opinion sort of graphic? You'll see graphics like that where people just put in something that they believe or an opinion on something. Is it behind the scenes? Are you showing what's happening behind the scenes at your business? Is it more process sort of graphic? Is this more proof of concept? Is this a lesson learned? Like, did something go bad or did something go good and you want to teach this in this graphic? Then you can do that. Are you promoting a service? Is it an offer graphic? Are you promoting a certain service like oil change? Are you promoting a certain program like get my ChatGPT 5 prompts program? Are you offer is it a certain challenge? Join my digital twin challenge. Are you telling them to go to your academy or a webinar or a lead magnet? Okay. So be specific on the type of information you're telling the system in order to create more graphics for you. And then it's a little bit more engagement graphic. Is it a simple post designed to create comment, save, share, and conversations? So these are a little bit more kind of like click worthy ish, but also engagement bait graphics. All right. Now let me show you some of the ones that I had created. So I wanted to create similar graphics. Let me go all the way up. I wanted to create similar graphics just like Alex Hermosi. A simple, almost looks like a screenshot of a tweet or an X post, whatever you want to call it, that he posts on his social media account. So I said, okay, I want this just like this, but obviously promoting or saying things for me and my business. So I had to do that. It says, sure, I can do that. Give me the information that I need. So I gave it what my name was. I gave it what my X handle was and any other information I really wanted. Um, White background and vertical. Now I did change the format a little bit, but for the most part, that's what it was showing me, and that's what I wanted to do. So I gave that information. I sent him a picture of me. I gave him my social media accounts. And then I told it I wanted a black background instead. So there you go. That was the first one. That was the first graphic he created. Okay. From this to this. And I said, okay, that's not bad. And I wanted to make sure we use the actual font from X. Okay. That's very important that we're using the actual font from X. Now, and I told it to add the little check mark on there too. So it added the little check mark and it confirmed that I was using the actual font. I didn't like how large the text was because if you look at the original, it's not that large. It looks a little bit smaller. And this one looks like it's not from there. So I said, okay, make sure you're using the actual font and also the check mark right there after my name. And it did it. It did some adjustments, as you can see right there. I told it a little bit smaller. So now that we got like a general format here, I pasted it again. I said, look how it is formatted. Make sure it's in the middle section. So then it formatted a little bit better. Okay. So now if I click into it, you'll see those space all the way around, even space left, even space here right. And now this thing is in the middle. So you have space on top and space at the bottom. Okay, great. So now he said, now let's come up with some ideas. Let's plan out the rest of the month for content just like this. Let's come up with some ideas. I want to make sure we don't get stuck on the same thing over and over. I want to provide some actual strategies and tips, and that's very important to me. I don't want to just give you fluff or give you random content or vague, sort of content that says make sure you publish more videos. Like that's obvious. I want to give you actual strategies. And so from there, it gave me some ideas. It was sort of generic E. From there, it wasn't that bad, but you can see the ideas, and then it would tell me the direction of the captions there. Like, what are we doing? What's the whole point of this graphic? Okay. And then we talked about the content mix. So it gave me the content mix, everything, because you don't want to repeat the same thing over and over. So it showed me how it separated the content and they gave us a good mix of content. So it gave us some AI content posts, three sales and lead generation posts, three systems production, three offer pricing and positioning posts, two customer research and proof posts, two authority. So you'll see the different structure there. And then, yes, I wanted to be more specific. I'm one of those people that want to show you and give you tips and strategies. So then I told that this is a little generic fluff sort of things, and they came in there, right? Better ChatGPT prompts, great. Cloud code for business automation, perfect. That's what I want. AI video and digital twin workflows, yes. Social research and website visibility, awesome. YouTube growth tech tips, that's great. Content repurposing, that's great. AI content quality control, okay. Lead gen and conversation tactics, and website and funnel improvements. Oh, and business automations and operation systems. So that was great. I said, okay, from there, give me a good mix of these tactics. I want something to look at and be able to go and execute on it right away. Why do I do that? Because I want to make sure we have something to actually do instead of just reading something and then there's nothing to do after. I want you to read it and then be able to take that information and go and execute it yourself so you can go do it for you. And there it is. Here's July 13th. So here's all the months. Give me all that information, which is great. All the copy and also the copy for the captions there. So let me scroll down. Okay. And I said, okay, let's start creating the first 7 days. I want to see how they look. I want to make sure they're nice. Now, it made an error there. It created all 7 days in one graphic, and it looks terrible. And I'm not one who holds back. I'm all like, I'm confused. What is this? So from there, it said, yeah, you're right to be confused. I made one collage. So then, okay, create 7 different ones, please. And there you go. After that, I created 7. So there's the first one. Oops, there you go. There's the first one. There's the second one. Okay. There you go. So very cool. So now from there, that's 7. 7 just like that. Okay. So now you have 7 social media graphics from there. And then now you can tell the same thing. Create all the rest for the next of the month. So now you have these type of social media graphics to go for this style of graphic. All right. So this is for this style of graphic. Let me show you a different style of graphic. Okay. All right. So then I said, okay, now I want some ideas for social media graphics that I should post to my social media accounts. Remember, it knows me. Yeah, because I already gave it all the information in projects. It knows me, it knows who I am, it knows my target audience, my offers, the systems that I have, what I sell to my clients, how I work with my clients. So all those different things it has, they're already set up in the system. Now, I gave it that information. I said, here you go. Here are 15 tactical social media graphics. Remember, I'm a tactics person. I want information, I want strategies, I want tactics. So that's exactly what it gave me. And better ChatGPT prompt formula to 1 billion to 10 assets, the AI content assembly line, create your digital twin knowledge folder. So it gave me a lot of great different um, potential different groups of content that I can put out. I said, okay, great. Let's work on some graphics. Remember, one graphic at a time because we had that issue before. Now, here's the first graphic. Now, it's not bad, but there's a couple of things that you should know. Number one, when it comes to graphics, a little bit less, and you want larger text because text like this, if somebody's reading it on their phone, it's going to be very difficult. So I asked it, do these follow the best practices for social media graphics? And it told me what works well and what should be improved. And that's great because you want to always rely on them because they know what works and they know what doesn't work because they have all the knowledge of all these different systems. So this is what it came back as his first revision. Okay, so that's what we had. That's what we had before. And that's what we had after. Larger text. You see how the boxes were smaller? They look nice. They look nice. The graphics, the little boxes and everything, and the little icons. They look nice, but they're small. So this made it larger. Remove the box, just put the word audience plus problem plus this. So now with this, you can see everything, and that's exactly what we want. We want to be able to see all that. The only thing I didn't like was my name, and they created this like initial, almost like a logo symbol thing. I didn't like it because that's not my thing, and I don't want it to appear on all the other social media graphics. So I just told it, don't do that, and don't post my name on it. Okay. Uh, and then I wanted to see the next graphic because we're creating 30. I said, okay, show me number 2. Here's number 2. One video equals 10 pieces of content. Turn one recording into a full content system. So a blog post, one blog, post, shorts, emails, carousel, lead magnet. And this is great. That's a great image. And then you have the information below it in the description. You can go through and give a lot more information then. So I told it, all right, go ahead and create the rest. So that way I had 2 already. I wanted to create the rest of the week. So turn one review into a sales page. Okay. This might be a little bit small. This definitely is small. I said, okay, as long as you can read this and this, I'm fine with it because you're going to read more information. And let me go through here. Bam. 10 minutes equals 1 week of content. Make AI sound human. One offer equals 30 content ideas. Your first AI marketing team. So now this is great. So now I have these graphics. Okay. You have these graphics that you can grab and now you can go post them on your social media account. If you're like me and you have a different system, I have a system where I can go and that system will post them for me. Let me go to my dashboard here. Oh, it was already there in the calendar. There you go. So my system already scheduled these out. Just a stop right in the same prompt. Yeah. My video already scheduled these out. So that's why they're here. I don't know why it's not showing right there for some reason. But yeah, we did that. It's looking good. So now I can go schedule them. I have a system that'll create it and also create custom social media captions for each social media account. That way we know we're using the best practices for each of these. Let me go back here. Okay, so just repeat the same thing. And you can do this for any graphic. Like right now, for my live stream, look at this from one thing. Okay, I need a thumbnail for this because I told it, hey, I'm doing a live stream on how to do 30 pieces of content. I need a thumbnail for this. I gave it my image. And then one, there are no revisions. There's nothing. This was it. 30 days of graphics with ChatGPT. And just like that, it gave me one. Okay. Amazing thumbnail. Like if you were to sub this out to somebody else and pay for this would cost you a lot of money and time. This took me 51 seconds to create this, or the system, right? ChatGPT, 51 seconds to create this for me. So that's the power of using this, but you need to make sure it understands who you are. Okay, that's projects. Now, if you don't have ChatGPT, I would suggest getting it to create these graphics. If you have other different LLMs out there like Claude or Gemini, do the same thing. They all have similar features where you can create a project. I think in Gemini they're called gems, and Claude they're called something else. And so create the project first. Create the information first. It needs to know who you are. Imagine this, right? If you're hiring a marketing company, if you want them to create content that matches your company, the best thing to do is give them all the information. Otherwise, how do they know what content to make? What are your colors? What's your branding? What's all that stuff? They don't know. So unless you give it to them, they're not going to know. So here are 30 pieces of content in one batch. And just like that, I got it. It's incredible. So go ahead, continue that system, build out the rest of your different graphics. That's exactly what I'm doing. Right now, I'm creating them for the week, and then I'm going into my system and actually schedule them out. The great thing about my system, I just provided the image, and then it'll create the custom captions for each social media account. Luckily, I don't have to do that because otherwise that takes a lot of time too. So make sure you follow us. We're going to be doing a lot more trainings like this, giving you actual tactics, strategies on how to create more things to improve your business, your knowledge, so that way you can create more, post more, get more clients, increase your revenue, and keep moving forward. Okay. You're going to see a video pop up right here. Go ahead and click on that video. Let me pop back over here on this side. On this side right here. Yep. Go ahead. Click on that video, and then we'll see you here on the next round. Okay. If you want more information on what we should do, or if you want to tell us what we should do next, make sure you write it down below in the comments. I'll see you next time. All right. Click that video.